Hey everyone, Cole here, GlassRenu. How are we doing today? I just wanted to go over a part of our process that it's a very important part of our process actually. It's the pre-polishing stage. So one thing I get a lot of questions about is if you have leftover swirls, what are you supposed to do if you have leftover swirls in your finished result? You finished grinding the damage out, you did your pre-polishing, you've polished, but you still got a little bit of haze there. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you the proper process of pre-polishing a pane of glass, okay? So I have a 2x2 piece right here. It has actually it's been worked on one time. It's a training piece of glass. In its one time of being worked, it does have some swirls left over. So we're gonna go point out the swirls, the types of swirls they are, and then I'm gonna show you and take you through the process of removing them, which is also the same process of pre-polishing the window and just proper pre-polish, what to look for, what the glass should look like, what your edges should look like, and how we're supposed to polish this out as well. So I hope this really helps out, and we're gonna take a look at it and get it going right now. So here's a window that's just been completed, or it was completed during a training session, but it looks great, right? You can't see anything, but one of the big questions is what happens when the sun comes out. One thing we're gonna notice when the sun comes out, or when I turn this light on, is that you begin to see some swirling in there. Is it caused by the pre-polish or is it caused by the polish? What we're going to do actually is we're going to go back through the pre-polishing stage. So if you see swirls like this, it's probably just in your pre-polish. We need to complete it properly, and in order to do a proper pre-polish, you just need to follow these steps. Go through this method. It's more methodical motions through the glass, getting a good buildup on your pre-polishing disc, and then really feathering out and working those edges. So we're going to get taken care of this one right now, and follow me as I take you through the pre-polishing stage. So one thing you're going to also notice on the glass is when you take a couple steps back and you look to the side, you can kind of see an outside shadowing haze of the area that you worked on. This can also be a result of not pre-polishing completely or properly as well, and it also has to do with your polishing too. So in our pre-polish, the goal is to really get that haze out, make a crystal clear piece of glass. So what we're going to do to start with is we're going to circle the damaged area so we know exactly where we're working. Now let's begin our pre-polish. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a brand new pre-polishing disc. I'm using the 5-inch size for this window. Again, it's a 2x4, so 4 square feet. Brand new gray disc. The reason we use a brand new gray disc is because we want to be consistent with all our repairs, okay? If we can do it once, we can do it a million times. Getting the damage out is going to vary window to window, but as soon as the damage is gone, it's the same process after that. Pre-polish, polish, all right? We're going to start out, I'm going to have my grinder speed right at a 3.5 there. So 3.5, and let's see, we're one notch off, 3.5 right there. And I got to stay flat on the glass the whole time. So the first part of the pre-polishing stage is just going to be going over the whole area just to get it started. We're going to get a brand new haze on the glass right now. And remember, the goal right here is to remove the leftover haze and the fine swirls that were left in the glass. So I'm going to turn this on, get going, and you're going to see I'm going to do I'm going to do 2 to 3 passes through the center of the glass. Remember, when we talk about doing a pass, we mean going up and down, left and right through the entire area. That is one pass. I'm going to start doing 2 to 3 passes here. We're going to stop and take a look at the disc. So we're going to get a good haze on the glass to start with. Right now we're actually re-breaking into the window itself. Now I've just reopened the area again, so I'm going to begin my passes. All right, So that is one pass complete. I want you all to take a look at the disc here. Very well stocked up in glass dust. You're going to notice right here there's a couple sides where it's kind of flaking off, which is just okay. That's the glass dust really caking onto the disc itself. So at this point, we do want to stop. I've done my 2 passes or so. We got a nice haze on the glass to begin with. I'm going to go ahead and tap this glass dust off using my file. For the pre-polish, remember, use your file for the pre-polishing disc. Don't use your wire brush. You want to use the softest edge of the file or the flattest edge to just go ahead and tap this glass dust off. So I'm going to bring it down to the ground and tap the majority of this glass dust off. I don't expect all of it to come off. I don't want all of it to come off. I just want to get a majority of it to come off. All right. Easy enough. One other thing we do want to make sure is we need to check our temperature. Checking the temperature of the glass. Right now we are at 106 degrees, which is a-okay. Our ambient temperature is 60, and we have, again, 70 to 80 degrees to work with, so we can get the glass to about 130, 140 degrees before we want to stop and really let it cool down. So I'm going to get back on it again. We're going to do our second go-around now with the pre-polishing disc. Same pre-polishing disc, grinders at the same speed, and we're just going to go right back through this area right now. Staying flat, that's very important. All right. So 2 full go-arounds have been completed. If you take a look, the disc is looking just the same. If you see the parts where it's flaked off, I mean, that's okay because you saw it kind of came off when I pulled the disc off the glass. Other than that, the whole thing had a buildup on it, and that's exactly what we're looking for. You're only going to be able to do that if you're staying flat the entire time. As soon as you lift an edge, you're going to lose some of that buildup. It's okay, though, because you can get it built up very fast in a very short period of time right after. You just got to stay flat. You can see my motions. They are very methodical motions, moving very slowly, smoothly, not many hiccups at all. And this window right now is ready for the final stage of pre-polish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on the glass one last time. I'm going to do one full pass through the center. When I finish that pass, as long as I've stayed flat the whole time, I should have a full buildup on my pre-polishing just like we have right here. I'm going to get these vibrations. You get these vibrations on the grinder, and I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear them too. They sound like just like that. After that one go-around, after you've re-gone onto the glass again, you want to go ahead and crank your grinder speed all the way up to a 6. When you turn your grinder speed all the way up to a 6, I call it glass-on-glass polishing. Essentially what we're doing is we're using the fine glass dust that's on our gray disc to further polish in and finish off the haze that's on there, knocking down, if you think about it, all the little hills and valleys that the previous discs had put in. We also have degraded our gray disc. As it is the least aggressive disc we have, we're making it even less aggressive, which, as you can see right now, we have a little more transparent haze on the glass, which is exactly what we're looking for. Take a look at the edges of the window here, too, and you can notice the outside edge. See right here, you're able to see where the gray disc essentially stopped, and you can kind of see some jumps right there. We're going to clear that out, though, and the goal is to make that a smooth transition between the ground and the unground glass to make the polishing process even easier. So I'm going to go ahead and wipe off the outside edges here. If you get a good, nice, solid view of this pane of glass, you can see it has a very uniform haze on there. You can kind of see the motions where I did move. That's okay, though. It's very uniform. I'm going to go ahead and tap off this glass dust one last time. Not getting all of it off, but I'm getting a majority of it off, and that's what we're looking for. All right, to finish off our pre-polishing, again, the grinder speed is still at a 3.5 right now. I'm going to do that one last pass. When I get the full build up on there, I'm going to go ahead and crank my grinder speed up to a 6, work the center one last time, and then feather out the outside edges. So we'll get going. All right, I finished my last pass through. I'm going to go ahead and turn my grinder speed up now. feather out those top edges to get a nice transitional haze. And just my one over through the middle one last time to make sure it's good. All right. You can take a look at the disc. A lot of that fell off as it was running at a high speed, but because of the methods I took right there, the speed I moved at, and the way I use this gray disc, this glass is ready for polishing. All right, the window is pre-polished. I went through the steps. It's time for polishing to make sure we got those swirls out. So polishing pad's on. It's a 5-inch polishing pad. I have my grinder speed all the way down to a 1 at the slowest speed. The reason I keep it at a 1 is I hate cleaning messes, so I don't want to make a mess. I just want to kind of control all the polish I'm putting on the glass. That way I'm not wasting any as well. So grinder speed at a 1, kick it on, start polishing. Now you can see it starts out still kind of dry, so I'm going to go ahead and take my bottle of polish here and get some more polish on this guy. All right, still at a 1. Spread the polish out. I typically focus on the outside edges of the glass because if there's one troublesome part, it's those outside edges. Grinder speed's still at a 1 right now. Now as it does start to dry up a little bit, I can kick the speed up. You see this side's not quite dry enough yet, but this side is, so I'll turn the speed up just a little bit, not a whole lot. And really just work all that polish in. You don't need to go any certain method. You can kind of go about polishing however you'd like. You're not going to ruin the glass at this point. There's no scratching. You're just getting out all those fine scratches that the pre-polishing was left in. So I've really worked all that polish in there. I mean, it looks clear for the most part, but it's not. One polishing process is not going to do it. On any type of glass. So what we're going to do is go ahead and rough this guy up. I'm going to take the fine sharp tooth side of this and rough your felt up a little bit. Bring those fibers back to the top. Get a good one in there. You can see it's just kind of roughed up there on the top. Grinder speed back down to a 1. Put some more polish on, and we're going to keep polishing this guy out. All right, it's looking good. It's polishing out very well, but to your GlassRenu general rule of thumb, polish until you think it's complete and then polish one more time. I'm going to go ahead and polish one last time. I'm going to rough up my felt again, put a little more polish on here, and go back to town on this thing. All right, polishing is complete. Let's go ahead and clean this piece of glass off and see what it looks like. So the window is completely polished out, well the bottom half at least. I wanted to leave the top half so you guys didn't think I switched the window out. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 or 5 or so, you know, the sun is coming down, or maybe it's early in the morning. We're looking for the swirls when the sun's coming through. So here comes the sun. Take a look through. There's 0 swirls left over, 0 trace marks that I was even on the glass in the first place. Maybe you can see a little bit of the cleaning, but for the most part, for what we're looking to take out, the pre-polish is going to be able to take care of any leftover swirls or any haze that are in the glass. Swirl-free and distortion-free repair. Looks good. So that's how you're going to pre-polish and then polish the glass out. You can see it's very simple steps. It's no different than what we're doing to remove the damage, except we are looking to get that full build-up on our pre-polishing disc. Remember, just to go over a quick recap, first thing you want to do, grab a brand new pre-polishing disc. Keep the grinder speed at a 3.5, go on the center of the glass and do 2 to 3 passes through the entire ground area. We're not doing much feathering at this point. You want to stop, take the disc off the glass, tap your glass dust off. Second time around, you want to do the same thing. 2 or 3 passes through the center of the window. You want to go ahead and stop again. And remember, we're staying flat this whole time. You want to stop again, take your grinder off the glass, tap that dust off one last time. On the third go around, that's when we want to use our full buildup on our pre-polishing pad. Put the grinder back on the glass, staying flat. Do one more pass through the whole area. At that point, if you're staying flat, you should have a full buildup on your pre-polishing disc. Go ahead and crank your grinder speed all the way up to a 6 without stopping. Go through the center area one last time. Feather out the edges about a 1/2 to a 1/4 disc pass at the high speed. And then you want to go through the center one last time to make sure you've finished your pre-polishing stage. After that, go ahead and polish the window out. Polish at least 3 times, 3 applications of polish or so. And when you think you're finished polishing, polish one more time just to make sure it's good. Other than that, if you follow those steps, you're not going to have any trouble having a good, solid result in your window. It's going to look good, guys. Keep it up. Any other questions, whatever I can do to help, feel free and give me a call. Telephone number is 888-769-0001, or check us out online at www.glassrenew.com. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned. Thank you.